best thing about being single.
Being able to like go after your goals without any distractions.
But it's been nice just to focus on my sisters in Christ, like those friendships.
I think the freedom too.
Let's flip it. Let's flip the script. What is the worst part about being single?
So like I'll go back and forth between like, man, being single really sucks. Like I just want that affection. I want somebody to, you know, love me, care for me and all that stuff. But then on the flip side, I'm like, well, do I want a relationship for the wrong reason?
I just wanting like someone to cuddle with.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay.
Sometimes it can be not lonely, but sometimes it can be like we do. Like sometimes it can be a little like feel alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes it really is like it's really good, and sometimes it's like my biological clock is ticking. God, I wanted to have children. Like that time is gonna be up for me soon. Like what's going on? And sometimes like I cry about it. You know what I mean? 'Cause it's like it's just like dang. It's like I feel like I'm running my race, and I'm like, God, where's my running mate?
What if you never get married? What's up, YSA? I'm Brittany, and I'm here with... What's up, YSA? I'm Brittany, and you're watching Young, Saved, and Single. Spiritual mom, Angel, she's like she's our women's pastor at the New Victory Church. And so she challenged me one day. She said, what if you never get married? What if God never brings you a husband? What if he wants you to be single for your entire life and serve him full throttle, like all in? Would you be okay if you never got married? And I sat back and I just had tears. I was in her car. I remember it like it was yesterday, and I was stuck on this guy, and she was like, what if it's not him? What if your husband isn't him? And what if God doesn't want you to be married? And I was like, I don't know that I'll be okay. And she said, that's what you need to wrestle with. And I did. And I was like, okay, Lord, you have to be enough for me. And the question was he enough? And he wasn't. For a long time, he wasn't. That's just the honest truth. He was not enough. Because like all of those things, God created, we are, I believe as women, God created us especially different, right? And so I think that, you know, with all of those natural desires that we have, I think that, you know, with that comes feeling like we're incomplete. And the truth is, we're not. He says that it's me. I have loved you with an everlasting love. That means that he has, meaning in the past, loved us, which makes no sense in this physical, right? How have you loved me in the past with a love that does not ever run out? That it blows my mind. And so with that, I think, you know, I really had to get settled and just really seated in my spirit that, you know what, you are enough. And it was the sweetest season, and it still is. And like Alyssa said, it does ebb and flow. I go in and out. I have my sister, my baby sister, she just got married. It'll be a year now, and I mean, my sister. And it was such a sweet moment, but I'm just like, okay, God, but I would like also. And I think with that, it comes the truth of, but I'm okay.
Yes.
And when you're not okay, my sisters know. I'll reach out to them and like, okay, I'm feeling, and they're like, nope, you're enough, you're loved, you're this and that, let's go, we'll get up, we'll go out, and we'll hang out, whatever. So I think, you know, it's hard, but it's really good.
Yeah.
How do y'all process breakups? What is that whole
At the
thing?
beginning, I'm a hot.
Oh, hi, Mike.
With me, I think it's different. It's different seasons. Because sometimes I think I'm mad at the beginning. Yes. Sometimes I'm sad. Then sometimes I'm like rejoicing that, you know, I keep over it. Yeah. It's different seasons.
Okay.
I feel.
Others?
I think I felt, because I've only been in one breakup, but I felt almost like, because I went through that experience with him being like, oh, I'm a Christian, but like all these things about what I grew up, what my core faith was, was false. It was me running to Christ and being like, God, gosh, this sucks. And
Yeah.
kind of like what she said about, no, we didn't have sex, but like I wanted to save my first kiss for my future husband, and I wanted to like not do the whole making out thing and not go past through and just like.
So what was it like? So did you do the whole ice cream, sad movies, crying? Like,
It was, I
was the whole
cried,
thing,
but
yeah.
also it was, I ran to my sisters in Christ, and they're like, Allie, we have a worship night right now, and I found out it was specifically for that purpose, and just like realizing like, I'm not going to be alone.
That's awesome.
Even if, like you said, like even if I'm single till the day I die, like,
It's all
thank
about
God, and it's going to be fine.
good. Others?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like at the beginning for me, it's like, I know this is dramatic, but I would just feel like my whole world fell apart. When it didn't
Process.
at all.
Yeah.
But it's just like, cause it's just like you're with someone, it's like they're just like ripped away. It's like, wait, what? Like, you know, and then it just, but it's like a process, like you said. It's like God showing yourself, like, look, you were putting them ahead of me, you know, and that's why you feel like that. And I feel like every time it happens, God shows me myself, and it's like every time whenever I'm in like the relationships I've been in, like 3 or 4, something like that. Every time I broke up, it was like I grew from it. I got better.
That's the
And,
goal,
like,
right?
Yeah.
That's good.
So,
Alyssa, you were gonna say?
Yeah, so how I process. So someone told me a long time ago, each year you're together, that'll probably be a year of healing. And so I want to say we were together maybe like 3 years. Like I've been in one relationship, and so I took them 3 years to process too.
Yeah.
And so some of the things that I did was I allowed myself to feel it. I allowed myself to feel the pain, and I began to process, what do I understand? One of the things was that I ended up having a sexual relationship, and so one of the things that I took away from it was I completely understand why God says not until you get married. There is such a bond that you create with someone, and then you have to look at them if they get married to someone else or see someone else. You're like, first of all, you took my family. Like, let's talk about that.
That's real.
You know what I mean?
That's real.
And
That's real.
and that's so hard. So I have to say to myself, God has something different from you. There's been plenty of times where I had to call my sister crying. There's plenty of times where I had to rock myself literally to sleep.
Yeah.
What is going on? And I allowed myself to feel all that emotion. And so someone said something to me, and I realized that the brunt of what I felt is because I entered a sinful relationship. And so I had someone say to me, the reason why God hates sin is because sin hates his people. And that's why I saw that sin hurts his people, and that's where I saw everything start to hurt me. Because if you think about it, right, he said what? Love the Lord your God, love your neighbor, right? And if you look at all the rest of the laws, you know, in Deuteronomy, all that stuff, they really are all built on the fact of loving him and the fact that he really cares about you. Even to the dietary laws, right? Like, it says, like, don't eat certain stuff, like, that gets you high cholesterol, like, you know what I mean? So, like, but I just really was able to see that what I did, or what I had done in that relationship was, even me feeling the pain was God's grace on me. So one, I allowed myself to go through it. I let my sisters pick me up. I didn't do it perfectly. I'm not a drinker, and I don't drink or anything like that. I was just like, I want to feel numb, and I would try to go drink, and it's like, okay, I will go to sleep. Like, it doesn't work. Like, it doesn't work on me. And then, like, anybody who knows me was like, Alyssa, what? Like, get out of here with that bull. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And so, but to process, I made sure I was talking to people. And I had to be fully, emotionally, and spiritually naked and say, this is how I'm feeling right now. Even if it's vile, even if I want to hurt this person, even if I'm mad at myself, like, I made sure that my process looked real and honest, and that it still looks real and honest. Because if I'm being honest, when you create a soul tie, it's hard to break that. It is, right?
It is so that brings us to my next question, right? So do you all think that those of you who have been in a sexual relationship before that ended, is it harder to process the breakup if sex has been on the table? Yeah. Oh yeah, you had, I saw you wanted to
Yeah. Well, I'll answer your question.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I believe when you have sex with someone, you create a soul tie.
Right.
Like this, you're connected to that person in some way.
Sure.
Even if it's someone that you're not dating. Like, cause you know, that's happened to me before. You know,
A casual situation.
A casual situation, and I felt as if I had like some type of tie to that person, and it would make me feel some type of way if they didn't talk to me afterwards, or they didn't, you know, do whatever afterwards. So when you're with someone and you're in a relationship with someone, and sex has become, you know, a big part of the relationship, or it's part of the relationship, when that ends, you want to think of it as like, oh, that was intimacy, but that wasn't really intimacy. It was just
Carnal,
it was just
Flesh,
flesh,
yeah.
because it was only momentary.
Right.
The feeling was only momentary, and so yeah, I think
And the
it's
flesh
hard after.
writes a check that your soul can't cash.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
No,
It
that's
has to pay
100%.
for it. It has to pay for it.
Yeah.
Mike, you wanted to?
Yeah, I went through a relationship, and if it wasn't for Alyssa and my people at the church, you know, I don't know where I would have been.
Yeah.
Because there was a point where I was depressed, and I would not leave my house at all. Like, people who know me know I was head over heels for this girl. I was ready. Like,
And was sex involved? in
the
the
sex was
relationship?
involved,
Okay.
but this one was different because in the case of, I've been in like, I'll consider a real relationship, it's 3.
Okay.
All right, and with this one, sex wasn't right from the jump. Like, we waited like months before we did anything, and we actually took the time to get to know each other and bond and connect. And that's what I love the most about it. I didn't really care about the whole physical aspect of it, like just getting to know her mind, like what really got me.
So for the breakup process, you said that, so you mentioned staying connected to people. So that's important. It seems like that's something that a lot of y'all have talked about as well, staying connected. I would say, for me, and I agree with you, that once you have sex in a relationship and you break up, it's like it's a connection that you just can't, I mean,
You don't breathe.
you can't breathe. I mean, so my process, I think I did the whole thing. I mean, ice cream, blanket, movies, not leaving the house,
Or chocolate ice
sweatpants, hair up, chocolate cookie dough,
Yes,
and bawling. My girls next to me, slumber party, and you just like because you have to process that to get it out. But once that happens, then what? Right? And so I think it's an important part to, like Alyssa was saying, connecting to your sisters and brothers in Christ, your safe people who are able to speak into your life about who you are, to encourage you and to let you know who you are. So I want to thank y'all for sharing all of your thoughts. We appreciate it, and thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it.
What's up, YSA? Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget some of the helpful tips. 1, reach out to your brothers and sisters in Christ. 2, make sure that whatever you're feeling, allow yourself to feel those things. 3, let your process look real. What are your tips? Comment down below. And if you think this might help someone or has helped you, let us know and share this video. Also, don't forget to check out our store in the description to purchase some Truth Over Facts wear by YoungSavedAnd. All right, till next time.